Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75. Welcome to another Transformers third party review. Right, for this one, this is a figure that I actually got for Christmas, and it was one of those ones that actually I saw I can't remember what it was now, TF Nation, and I thought, wow, that looks pretty cool. I wasn't really interested in it because I wasn't really interested in a transforming Death's Head figure, but I saw it and I thought, oh, do you know what, that actually looks really cool. I'd love to get that. So I actually asked my wife to get it for me for Christmas, and she did. But of course, this is, I've got the box over here somewhere. It's Reformated, or is it Mastermind Creations? Reformated R18 ANUBIS. And sometimes you just think maybe they just shouldn't have bothered. I'd seen a few reviews of this guy, and they weren't exactly all positive, and I was thinking, well, yeah, that's true. I'm not really interested in a jet mode for him, really, just the figure. I'll get onto the robot mode in a minute when I actually get him into robot mode. But the only thing I can say is, if you're going to give him, because he, you know, obviously he's just out of the old Marvel comics, and he won't transform. He's just, you know, a robot. But if you're going to give him an alt mode, at least give him an alt mode where you can actually get the bloody thing into the alt mode, rather than it's just a piece of shit. I mean, it looks quite good. You know, as a jet mode, it is quite good. I just cannot get him in to put all these little bits to peg in. There's panels here that go around here. They've got tiny little peg holes. These are the most tightest knee joints, because he's become his knees in robot mode. So you're trying to fold these over and peg them in at the same time, and slide them under this stupid cockpit that moves everywhere, and then it just pops all these bits out because they're not aligned right. I don't know, maybe it's that for the figure, maybe it's just me not having the patience with certain figures anymore. I mean, it's a shame, because like I say, if it was just, obviously this is a convention sort of exclusive or something, I don't know. From another figure called was it Lockdown or whatever? It was supposed to be Lockdown or something. So obviously they've just retooled it for this to be Death's Head. So you know, it probably works on some degree, but not for this. It's, I don't know. This I've honestly fallen out of love with a lot of third party stuff. I'm not really that bothered about it anymore. I mean, there isn't much I'd love to get. Is it the Reformat? Is it the Carnifex? One that looks like Overlord. That looks pretty damn good. But if it's anything like this, I don't think I'll bother. And to be honest, Hasbro seem to be really on the ball at the moment. If a third party seems to do like a really good figure, they come out of a, you know, like a Titan's Return Overlord or whatever to counter it. And usually it is more simpler, because obviously these are quite complex. These are like along the lines of sort of masterpiece-ish sort of figures, aren't they? So they're simpler in some respects and cheaper, and to be honest, they're better in a lot of ways. Not always patent occasions maybe or whatever, but just generally, I'd rather have an official figure than I don't know. I mean, you know, I suppose it all goes down to personal preference, really, doesn't it? Anyway, I do digress a little bit there. I mean, this side I managed to get pegged in pretty okay. It's just this side, it just would not peg in. I mean, there's lots of moving parts. It's a pain in the fucking arse. So anyway, so this is his ship mode. It does come with a little comic on the front of the box or something, or inside the front of the box, explaining why now he has an alt mode and stuff like that. I mean, it's not too bad, actually. That is one of the redeeming features of this set. Yeah, there's not much more to say about it, really. I mean, if it was all pegged in, oh yeah, I cannot get his head. I mean, the instructions say you're supposed to turn his head round or something. I cannot get. I mean, I assume it's moving this bit here. His head just pops off as well, more times than you care to mention. Maybe that's got to rotate, but I couldn't rotate the bastard. So it's sort of like he's got his head hanging upside down there. Or you can just take it off, just throw it over there, and that gives it a better look. Just a bit of a disappointment, really. Like I say, if you're going to give him an alt mode, make sure it's a functional alt mode. This bloody bit of wood I use is moving around. Look, something bloody even irritates the hell out of me. Anyway, right, so let's get this into robot mode. I'll probably get flummoxed along here somewhere because this backpack is a little bit weird. Yeah, I will say one thing. I'll never understand why they're giving him these red bits here. I'll come to that in robot mode. Right, so the first thing we're going to do... Oh yeah, you can't store all his weapons in this mode. They just hang around on the side, which is always nice. I like when they do that. Anyway, right, so first thing I'm going to do is remove these bloody legs off the back here and rotate them around. It's going to separate them as well. Just fold them out, rotate that piece around. And that just comes around here. Then we're going to get the feet. We do all the feet and everything first. There you go, look. It's pretty much transformed already. I'll just rotate my little camera up slightly. These are the feet, and they just easily come down. That's his lucky little ankle guard. And then his feet are on quite a not too bad ball joint there, so it gives him a good range of movement in his feet. And as you can see, there's a big ball joint, slightly hindered by this ankle guard. And then what we're going to do, we are going to come up here. This whole section untabs out of these bits. Then it move these arms bloody around. This rotates up into here, like so. Does that tab in? It does something anyway. And then this comes down. This comes down, and these come round. I can't remember exactly how it does it. I hope you can see this on the camera. That comes round there, sort of, to give him his like cape, which is pretty good. As you can see, we're almost there. We just rotate these bits out. You can start manoeuvring his legs out to give him a better pose, because he does pose well. There is some good poses you can get out of this guy. And then the good thing is as well, with some of the poses you can just use the backpack cape as like a third leg half the time, you know, depending what you're trying to do with him. See, then obviously you just rotate this around now. This rotates up here. This never stays in. You know, like when you're trying to pose it or whatever, this one just doesn't stay in properly. But it ain't too bad, because you're not playing with it, you're just posing it. Rotate that around. This folds down and rotates around, I think. Can't remember which way it's supposed to go now. I think that rotates that way. No, something like that. They're a bit finicky. And then we open these out. Get his hand. Lovely hand sculpts. Brilliant that. Close them up. Come back around to this one. Do the same on this. Rotate it up. This one does sort of stay a bit better, or maybe it's just because I was posing that one more. Then we're going to rotate that around, bring this down, and I think that's got like a little elbow guard towards the end there. Is that it? I can't remember. Yeah, I think so. Do you know what? I've got an Avasol in my head. I can't get rid of it. Money, money, money. Don't know why I said that. It's just annoying me. I almost started singing it just now. I'm transforming this and singing it all day. It's thanks to my son that he, for some reason, he likes listening to ABBA in the car. He's only 4. We will be next week. But I don't know. Well, I don't mind ABBA. Anyway, right. I am wandering a little bit off point there. Right, so let's get now. He's supposed to have these bits in the back here. Now these are. I'll tell you what. Let's stick his head on. That's probably one of the main things, isn't it? Now this head sculpt, because there he is. He's pretty much now in robot mode, and it's all right. The only things I don't like is these, and I don't know why they were there in jet mode. It fills out part of the wing, but you could have just had that on that, and then you wouldn't have had these silly bits hanging off. But there we go. Because I find they just flap around, especially these ones here. Those ones there are the worst though. They just flap around and serve no purpose, and they don't even give them an aesthetic from, you know, his original comic Death's Head self, if you know what I mean. And these bits just move around like anything as soon as you pick him up. So anyway, let's look at that head sculpt there. See if I can just rotate up slightly. It's quite a strange head sculpt. I don't really like it. I mean, it's cool, but it's just not. There's something about it that just ain't Death's Head to me. I think it's the bottom bit and the grill bit there. If anything, he looks like Wallace out of Wallace and Gromit to me with that mouth. It's quite funny actually. I was looking at it earlier. It was making me laugh. But it's still okay. It's not, like I say, not the best. You're going to get some great poses out of this guy, but it's just a bit annoying, slightly. On the plus side, this whole backpack is a great look-alike cape. I really do like it. And I probably, to be honest, you can pose it a bit better than this to give it a better look, but it's probably just where I've transformed it very quickly. You know, I haven't a clue what you're supposed to do with some of these bits. That goes there. Yeah, there's a bit in the middle here that don't really do a lot, it just moves around a bit. But it's a great look-alike cape, like it's all ripped and everything. I quite like that. I think that's what sold me on it, to be honest. It reminded me of when my brother used to buy some of his old Gundam model kits, and there was one that was kind of like, do you remember Beast Machine's Megatron, where his wings would fold round him and it would like a weird cloaky thing? And he had a Gundam figure that literally did that. It looked like he was wearing a cloak, and he could open it out and it's all these spread wings. It was fucking brilliant. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm wadding off point again there. Anyway, right, so he comes with all his little weapons, a la Death's Head should have. Now, you're going to have major trouble getting these in here. It took me ages to get these, and now I don't know if you're going to see it on this, whether it will focus in on it or not. It's trying to focus, isn't it? It's sort of ground the peg down just to get it in there. I was going to get a drill bit and just make the hole slightly bigger, but I found that sort of worked, and they did tuck away in there. So he comes with 4 weapons. Now, I don't know why, if they're going to, like I said, if they're going to do a Death's Head figure, make him come with the proper weapons. That's a proper weapon. That's a proper weapon. These two. This looks like something out of World War One, because I've been playing Battlefield 1. Death's Head never had that weapon. This one looks like his missile, only the little bits the wrong way around, supposed to be firing missile. From what I can tell, he's missing the, is it the titanium shot blaster that he's supposed to have? He's missing that one. So that'd be quite cool if you could go on like Shapeways or something, if someone did a couple of extra weapons. And the other point I don't like, this one isn't too bad in its lengthwise, but this is just too long. It is, because when he sticks it in his hand, it's supposed to be like from there where you get this extra 5mm clip. You know, it's supposed to be there. So what I was thinking of doing was cutting this around here somewhere, cutting these extra little bits off because it looks silly. And then just using that bit there as 5mm. It's about the same thickness, isn't it? And then using that, because I think that when you stick it in, it's about the right length. But I'll come to that in a minute. Right, so we're going to stick the weapons in. Right, you can pose them how you want, put them where you want. Right, so they go in. It's hard to grip this one with the bloody mace one, because it sticks in your hand. And then this goes in here, and I'm going to come to another little modification I was thinking of doing. Is that the right way around? I can't remember. Might be this way around, actually. Yeah, it looks a bit better than it. No, right, so that just goes in there, and then you get a shield. Can't actually fit it anywhere on his bloody hand in robot mode, which is a bit weird, but never mind. But I hardly ever saw him using it. But that just tucks on the back there, and that looks pretty damn good. Now then, when you get him in robot mode, the only problem is you can't, because of this cockpit here, you can't really see the weapons too well behind there, and they're all sticking up. They're supposed to be at an angle coming out. So I was thinking of, I don't know, sticking another bit of plastic there, drilling some 5mm holes at certain angles so you can have them at angles coming out. But if I was to cut them all down slightly, that would be a bit more different how it would look. But, you know, it was an idea I had. It does also come with a giant chainsaw. Now, there's nowhere to keep this in robot mode. You can't really hold it even, actually. It's a bit irritating, and I don't really remember of Death's Head having a chainsaw, but there we go. This was doing some edge clipping or something. Anyway, he does come with this little blaster, which is very reminiscent of his blaster that he had in the old G1 comics. Bit thin and a little short. It just looks a little bit weedy, if you want my opinion, but he does hold it remarkably well, and you're going to get a lot of range of movement on all these, because there's joints everywhere. That is a plus. Like, so you can have him holding it. I've already done a pose on a picture that I'll put at the end of the video, you know, and so you're going to get a few good poses out of him. I'd love to have, if I could find my classics, Cyclonus and Scourge. I think this guy would look, I mean, he's a bit bigger, but then again, it was dead hard nut, wasn't he? Right, so anyway, so that's that. We're going to come now to one of the sort of the gimmicks of them, obviously. Now, but you can do this with both hands. I was wondering about that. But I can't remember what hand it's supposed to be now. It's his right hand, I'm sure of it. So you can take him out, I only pegged him. Put that down there. And then you can take any weapon, providing you can get him out. And then we just stick that in. Now, that one don't go in there at all, actually. Yeah, they are pretty crap, you know. That is bad quality control on these, really, because it just will not go in. It's shit. So anyway, let's pretend it would hold in there. It would look like that, which just looks a little long, but then again, his forearms are very long. Don't look too bad, right? So we'll throw that one down. What does look good, or doesn't, well, actually, no, that was about the best one. Is this mace. Again, though, it just looks, if I can get it, if it will stay in there. No, it don't want to stay in there, does it? Crap, eh? Oh, no, there we go. Oh, got that one in. Just need a bit of extra force there. So you got his mace there, but it just looks way, way, way too long. So it looks a bit silly, if you want my opinion. So we'll get that one out. Maybe I can get that one in if I force it in there again. No, I don't want that. Don't want to have that one. Anyway, bit of shame, really. Right, anyway, so that is it. What about this one? Let's see how it looks with his chainsaw. Will that go in there a bit better? Oh, no, they just don't want to go in today. That's crap, isn't it? Yeah, certainly think about that if you're going to get it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of pluses, but there's too many minuses. You're going to have problems all round. You're going to have to sort little bits out like that. I mean, it doesn't take much just to leave it scraping down with like a knife or a scalpel or something, or redoing, I don't know, certain joints. You know, they're all fixable, but you shouldn't have to do that. You know, and I mean, but then again, like I say, you get some good poses out of this fella, like that if you want to. But you can. So he's not too bad. Yeah. No, if you want my opinion, don't bother. I mean, I got it because I love Death's Head. I mean, I've been reading some of the old stuff, and it's just amazing. But this, I'd preferred it if someone just made a good Death's Head action figure this size. I mean, you know, proper look-alike. This is okay. It's the best as you're going to get at the moment. I mean, if someone brings out that, this is fucking redundant. Pardon me. But for now, it's the best you get in, and if you want it, it's there. And it's, you know, you get him in a good pose, he's going to look good on your shelf. Right, okay, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.